A concerning trend for parents and children. Montgomery County now issuing a warning that cases of whooping cough are on the rise. Gwyneth Falloon spoke with health experts about those cases, and what did they tell you?
Elise, this is the data from Public Health Dayton and Montgomery County. In the county, there's been 44 cases of whooping cough this year. That includes 30 cases in just the past 3 months. Now, last year, there were only 13 cases. You can see on this chart, we haven't had this many cases since the 73 cases before the start of the pandemic in 2019. Now, pertussis or whooping cough, it starts with cold-like symptoms and can eventually progress into severe coughing fits, making it hard to breathe. Experts with the Public Health Department say the spike has to do with the time of year. As temperatures drop, more people are spending time gathering indoors. Now, whooping cough is extremely contagious, so even just a few cases in the community can quickly spread and then add up to many.
And so who's at the highest risk?
That's a great question. The ones who are at the most risk in our area are going to be our youngest. That's our babies and our kids.
Babies' lungs are smaller, they have less capacity, and they're generally more susceptible to many things. So it's really the size of their body and their age and how they've developed so far.
Now, whooping cough, it's treated with antibiotics, but again, it is very contagious. And so doctors say you should finish the medication before going back to your normal day-to-day. You and your kids should also be practicing healthy habits like washing your hands regularly and covering your cough or sneeze. This will help reduce your risk. Back to you.
Gwen, thank you. Police right now investigating a shooting in Dayton. According to officials, or I should say the Montgomery County Dispatch, they received a call just after 4 o'clock this afternoon that at least one person was shot. Now, it happened in the area of Philadelphia Drive and Holmes Avenue. We're still working to get updated information about the shooter and the victim. As soon as we learn more, we'll alert you here on air and online. And a live look tonight from the Miami Valley Jail's website. This man here is connected, or who police say is connected, to a shooting in Trotwood back in 2022, appeared in court today. 41-year-old Anthony Smith has now pled not guilty to several charges. He's facing murder and felonious assault. Smith's bond has now been set at $1 million. Now, it's not clear at this time when he'll be in court next. Of course, we'll be sure to update you on our website as well. And a win for Ohio Governor Mike DeWine as a judge denies the injunction that previously paused proposed changes to the state's Board of Education. The proposed changes will shift K-12 education oversight from the Ohio State Board of Education to an official appointed by the governor. Now, this will drastically change who makes decisions about academic standards, curriculum, and district ratings, and some are saying that change was necessary.
These 7 state school board members that filed the lawsuit have failed over the last 2 years to hire a permanent superintendent. They have left the Department of Education leaderless.
Now, lawmakers added this change in the budget bill that passed in July after accusing Ohio's BOE of being ineffective. Attorneys for the group suing now have 14 days to file a challenging to the ruling. Governor Mike DeWine, though, meanwhile, released this statement after the ruling, saying, quote, "I am thrilled that the restraining order has been dissolved and we can focus on the important work of moving forward to help our kids be better prepared for life after high school," end quote. And tonight things were a little gloomy, a little rainy, but I'm hoping there might be some light at the end of that tunnel.
Yeah, we got some sun in the forecast. We overall have a little bit of everything in the forecast. Got some warmer weather on the way, but first we have some chilly conditions that we're going to be tracking. It's been a cool one today. That rain, though, has made its way off to the east. We're going to continue to see clearing skies as we head into the evening as the storm system heads off to the east. And then eventually we get some more rain. Tomorrow, another chance for some showers. But for right now, we're in the 50s, 53 in Dayton, 52 Troy, 50 currently in Urbana, 50 up in Wapakoneta right now, and then eventually it's going to be a pretty chilly night. We'll see our lows dropping into the lower 40s, which will be around what we typically would see for this time of the year for our overnight low. Could see some upper 30s across the area too, but overall a colder night. A little bit of a breeze that will make it feel slightly colder too, but I'll have a look at the rest of the weekend and when we could see some 70s coming up.
We have some big updates from the Middle East tonight. 2 American hostages are now free after being held by Hamas for 2 weeks. Judith Tyranan and her 17-year-old daughter Natalie were handed over to Israeli forces today. Now, Hamas says it was for humanitarian reasons following an agreement with the Qatari government.
The head of the Kidnapped and Missing Persons Task Force, together with IDF and security forces, received them at the Gaza border, and they're on their way to their family.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken says the Biden administration shares in the relief that their families, friends, and loved ones are feeling tonight.
We expect a team from the U.S. Embassy to see them very shortly. Over the coming hours, they'll receive any support and assistance that they need. And of course, we're very anxious to be able to reunite them with their loved ones.
Blinken notes there are still 10 more Americans who remain unaccounted for in the Israel-Hamas war, some of which are being held hostage by Hamas. At least 200 hostages are being held in Gaza following Hamas's deadly October 7th terror attack in Israel. And we're taking a live look right now over our nation's capital as we go yet another day without a House Speaker. The third time was not the charm for Congressman Jim Jordan in his quest for the Speaker's gavel. The final vote was 194 for Jordan and 210 for Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. 25 had voted for another candidate, which meant Jordan actually lost more Republican votes than he did on the previous two ballots. Jordan doesn't hide his disappointment that he won't be the next House Speaker, but says it is time for Republicans to rally around a new candidate.
We need to come together and figure out who our speaker is going to be. I'm going to work as hard as I can to help that individual so that we can go help the American people.
In a closed-door secret ballot, Republicans voted to push Jordan out of the race. Now, GOP members of Congress say they're going to reconvene on Monday to start all over again. Jeffries says Republicans need to step up and help fill the position.
It's time for traditional Republicans to get off the sidelines, get in the arena, realize that the chaos, dysfunction, and extremism has to end, and the only way to do it is to figure out how we can partner in a bipartisan fashion to reopen the House and govern in a reasonable, common sense way.
It has now been 17 days without a House Speaker. And one thing being held back now during this speech for a House Speaker is the search, I should say, for the House Speaker, is funding requested made by the White House. It's a $105 billion funding request where the biggest portion would go towards supporting Ukraine amidst Russia's invasion at about $61 billion. Israel would receive about $14 billion for air and missile defense systems. Another $14 billion would go toward security at the U.S.-Mexico border. The White House argues the request is critical to U.S. national security. And the United Auto Workers strike continues in Toledo this evening, and they had an out-of-state senator joining them at the picket line. John Fetterman took time out of his Friday to visit UAW workers. He says the trip was a way to let those striking know that they're being thought about by officials in government.
The irony is that I drove here from Pennsylvania in the Jeep that all these men and women have built, and it's an incredible product, and I'm going to have it forever. And it's just such a great thing. Why wouldn't you want to be taking care, taking the kind of people that make it all work, taking care of them?
Fetterman's visit comes as negotiations continue between the UAW and the Big Three. Now, the strike has forced layoffs at several plants across the country, including several parts here in Ohio. Well, the only suspect in the disappearance of Erica Baker arrested on separate charges. The latest update tonight. And it is week 10 of Football Friday. We're going to take a look at the best plays from across the Miami Valley. That's going to be coming up.
Plus, tracking some more rain for our weekend. I'll let you know how much more we're expecting. That's coming up. Here's a live look from our Eco Plumber Skycam. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
tonight, the only person to ever be convicted in the disappearance of Erica Baker has now been arrested in Oregon on assault charges. Nathan Edwards explains the latest update.
Our Missing Erica Baker podcast team has been investigating new leads in this case, and we just learned the prime suspect in Erica's disappearance, Christian Gabriel, was arrested on October 3rd in Roseburg, Oregon. Now, he was booked on an assault charge and was cited for possession of meth. Court officials in Douglas County, Oregon, tell us he pleaded no contest and was sentenced to 10 days in jail and faces a $500 fine. He also has to stay away from his victim. This arrest was not connected to the Erica Baker case. 9-year-old Erica Baker disappeared on February 7th of 1999 while walking her dog near the Kettering Rec Center. Christian Gabriel admitted to hitting Erica with his van, but has never led police to her body. Gabriel spent 6 years in prison for Baker's disappearance after being convicted of gross abuse of a corpse and tampering with evidence. Gabriel was released from prison in 2011 and left the Dayton area soon after. You can learn more about Erica's disappearance through our Missing Erica Baker. Look for it on all podcast providers. Also, if you have any information about Christian or Erica's disappearance, contact Kettering Police. Back to you in the studio.
And just like Nathan mentioned, you can find our Missing Erica Baker podcast wherever you get your podcast. You can also scan the QR code you see there on your screen right now. It's going to take you to a special section of our Dayton 24/7 Now website, which is dedicated to the case, to read all the updates and see parts of our exclusive search efforts.
Well, clouds already starting to decrease across the area as our storm system that has brought us the rain over the past couple of days has head off to the east. But we do have another system that will be heading its way in from the northwest. We'll start to see showers progressing their way into the area as we head into tomorrow afternoon, mainly after lunchtime into the early afternoon hours. You can see we start out pretty quiet, so chilly start in the 40s. So we'll start out with some sunshine, but clouds quickly build back in. This is about 1 p.m. We'll start to see some showers make their way in. Scattered showers expected through the afternoon hours, and then by the evening we do start to see them taper off. Still can't rule out a shower by late into the evening, but then we see sunshine. Sunday we wake up to 40s, and then heading into our Sunday afternoon, a cool one, mid-50s. Notice by our early Monday morning we got some very chilly air that takes over the region very briefly. Could see some frost. I'll talk about that frost potential coming up.
Well, Dayton's annual Feast of Giving is looking to make a comeback in 2024, but until then, they're partnering with Miami Valley Meals to give out 12,000 take-home meals this Thanksgiving. Jenna Lee Bork spoke with both organizations about what they need most.
Miami Valley Meals is already in preparation mode for this year, but Feast of Giving will need 25 to 30 committee volunteers and over 500 volunteers to put their event on next year. They're hoping the community will rally around them to continue this 50-year tradition that was halted by COVID.
It truly takes a village to put it on. It feeds 4,000 to 8,000 people, and it's more than just a dinner. Dancing, live music, a kids' room, and giveaways bring a full day of life to Dayton's Convention Center.
It was truly a community event. There was a feeling there where the entire community, it didn't matter whether you could afford it or not, everybody was welcome.
In the meantime, Feast of Giving will team up with Miami Valley Meals for the 3rd year to give out 12,000 take-home meals.
Both organizations are looking for volunteers and to continue their partnership. Information that you'll need to volunteer will be in the web version of this story. Back to you.
The Miami Valley's largest Halloween festival kicking off tonight in Fairborn. Of course, there is plenty for the whole family to do. You've got food, a beer garden, even a zombie walk. Tonight, there was a spooktacular costume judging and parade.
I like all the different booths there are. There's always something to see, and there's plenty to check out, including the Secret Chamber of Oddities behind us. It's a great thing. There's always new stuff in there. I stop by that every Halloween festival.
Now, if you couldn't make it out tonight, don't worry. The festival runs all weekend. Festivities kick off tomorrow beginning at 11. And tomorrow night is the Zombie Walk, which is led by the Fairborn Thrillers this year. You can even join the horde of zombies by dressing up as one yourself. And don't worry, if you don't know your trick-or-treat time for your area, we've got you covered. We've got the full list of trick-or-treat times around the Miami Valley on our website. Just find this story on our homepage at Dayton247now.com. And a live look tonight from our Eco Plumbers Sky Cam. Let's send it right over to Chief Meteorologist Natalie Walters.
Well, quieter across the area right now. Got a chilly night on the way, but not quite as chilly as what we're expecting for our early Monday morning, which frost is looking possible, if not likely, for our area. So plan on protecting your plants as we head into our early Monday morning. Notice no frost as we head into the middle and end of next week as highs climb back up into the 70s. So we actually have a nice warm up on the way. By next week, lower 70s return to the area. We just got to get through some below normal days. So showers around during the day tomorrow, mid 50s on Sunday, back into the 70s as we head into next week. More rain in the forecast by next Friday, which will eventually bring some colder air back into the region as well. So overall, a little chilly right now, but we'll enjoy some 70s by next week.
Natalie, thanks. Well, it's week 10 of high school football. We got all the highlights and scores next, plus our game of the week takes us to Wayne. We'll be right back. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Right as that time, welcome in week 10 of Donato's Football Friday. Thank you for being with us. I'm Adam Arrow. Matt is off tonight, so the playoffs, they're getting closer. Teams vying for positioning We're going to start with our game of the week. Two of the top teams in the G-Walk, Centerville taking on Wayne. This one was a good one. Wayne coming off a tough loss to Springboro, so they were looking to bounce back big time, and they did tonight. The Warriors, they got the ball second play of their first drive. Tyrell Lewis would loft it to Jackson Solomon, who does the rest. 61-yard touchdown, 6-0 Warriors. Then Elks have the ball. They're going to go to their quarterback, Drake Wells. Couldn't find anybody, so he goes 8 yards, close to a first down. So what does he do? He takes it himself to get that first down. Elks still driving. Wells going to look for his guy, Jamar Montgomery. First down here. Then Wells is going to go to Montgomery. Once again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 11-yard pass completion. Elks, though, they would stall on this drive, so the Warriors, their fans ready, they get the ball back. Lewis is going to find Tion Hunter, who's going to break a tackle. Got a whole army of guys in front of him. Takes him into the end zone. Another Warriors touchdown, 12-0. The Warriors are up. Elks, though, they are on the move. Wells is going to look for his guy, but he finds the wrong guy. That's Josiah Williams-West. He's going to take it back the other way. That is a pick six. It's 19-0 now. Wayne in complete control. So the Elks, they need to answer here before the half. Shane Cole going to keep it himself, get some nice yardage here. Then Reggie Powers III, the great running back for the Elks, going to take it, gets off another huge chunk there. Then this is going to be a nice little fake shovel pass play thing that our photographer Jared completely missed, but he did get the end. Just kidding, we love Jared. That was a great play by the Elks. They get on the board at half, 19-7 there. Final though in this one, 32-6. Wayne gets the big win over Centerville. Roger Glass Stadium in downtown Dayton tonight. CJ hosting Alter. No love lost between these two schools. First quarter, how about a little bit of defense? Alter looking to pass. Colin Cato says, get out of here. No. Later, Alter back on the move. Quarterback Gavin Connor on the keeper. Takes it into the end zone, keeping it all the way in. 7-0 Knights there. CJ, they would look to respond. Ethan Stacy, they got a great running game. It's a two-headed monster here. Going to get a big gain on this run, break some tackles. Then the Eagles go to the big man, Nidell Wright. He's going to break a tackle through the middle, makes a nice cut move there, and he's gone. Extra point away now from tying this up. And this was a cool moment. Kicker Milena Papalios is going to line up, nail the extra point, which makes her one of 3 Eagle kickers in history to surpass 100 points. Big congrats to her on a great night. Late first half, Aiden Lowry is going to looking to build on the CJ lead, but the refs, was he in? No. The referee says he was just short, so it's fourth down now, and the Knights, they stuff it. Their defense comes to play. Turnover on downs. The Knights then would march down the field, taking off a lot of clock, and then they give it to Mike Rose. He is in. Knights up 14-7. Final in this one, 21-14. The Knights get bragging rights for this year. More scores tonight. Fairmont 35-0 all over the Beavers of Beaver Creek tonight. Northmont, they lose to Springfield 14-3 in a defensive game. Fairborn, they squeak by Piqua 14-10 is your final. Waynesville, we go. The Waynesville Marching Band performing on senior night. This is always one of the most anticipated games of the week and year, taking on Valley View. Action-packed first quarter, to say the least. First drive for Waynesville. Alex Ambrugi is going to find Trenton Davis in the end zone. Long TD pass. Waynesville up 7-0. Next possession, they'll Valley View. They're going to answer and answer big. Screen pass. Caden Hansen to Micah Valentini. He's going to take it all the way. Follow the blocks. Cut across the field, and he is in. We are tied at 7. Waynesville forced to punt on their next drive, so Valley View, they go to this. This is one of the best plays you'll see of the night. Landon Millara. Outstanding catch and run. Takes it all the way in for the touchdown. Valley View now up 13-7 after a missed extra point. Next drive, Waynesville. They would answer. Trenton Davis. Perfect. Great concentration. Touchdown. 14-13. Waynesville up. They go on to win a thriller tonight. 49-40. Holy cow. Offensive explosion. All right, so let's go. Another GWAC game. Big crowd at Careflight Field. Miamisburg taking on Springboro. We're in the second half here. Springboro up 9-7. Jacob Davis is going to complete the pass there to Will Yates for a nice gain. Same drive, Yates again. He's going to find a guy. Nice gain there. Miamisburg, though, would hold. So we're going to do a field goal attempt, and it is just short. So the score is still 9-7. Fourth quarter, Miamisburg with a 4th and 1. Keith Henry is going to squeeze through the line. And could he take it? Yes, he can. Touchdown, Miamisburg. They are now in control 14-9. Later in the fourth quarter, Springboro trying to get that lead back. But the pass here intercepted on a tip drill by Baylor Stickle with just over a minute to go in the fourth quarter. Miamisburg, they got a knack for fourth quarter wins, as we saw in TNL. They do it again. Landon Roberts scores on the sneak, and they win. 21-9 is your final. Miamisburg with bragging rights for this year. All right, let's take a look at some more scores tonight. Xenia, they fall to Tippecanoe 41-14. Troy all over Sydney tonight, 44-7. And Trotwood with a big win over Thurgood Marshall. All right, we still got more Football Friday on the way, including a look back at our Thursday Night Lights final one of the season. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.